He is legally not guilty in my eyes. I don't care if he did it or not. Ain't no evidence. Ain't no good evidence. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm making this video.
Because I honestly didn't care until I read this. Putting the lie to lefties race baiting for Jussie Smollett. The Smollett attack played into every myth of progressive advocates that gangs of white supremacists roam the streets of our nation looking to attack African Americans. Everything fits into that narrative. Older Asians attacked by mentally ill black men on the subway. White supremacy. White guy kills 2 other white guys in self-defense. White supremacy. 2 Nigerians sprinkle bleach on a D-lister. White supremacy. The editors dismiss white supremacy, also known as racism, as having no impact on these 3 recent cases, but they don't provide any justification. And because Jussie Smollett was just found guilty, the op-ed overall comes across as a taunt. It's like they're singing, "Na na na boo boo. We knew it wasn't racism because racism doesn't exist."
You guys talk about white supremacy this and white supremacy that. The only problem with racism is you niggas. They didn't say it like that, but that's how it felt.
Smollett was found guilty of 5 of 6 disorderly conduct charges for lying to police about a crime that never happened. In January 2019, Smollett received hate mail at work. 1 week later, 2 men attacked him on the street. He was walking home from Subway at 2 a.m. in the morning. Smollett reported the attack to police, and the police also recognized he had a Subway sandwich in his apartment. And in later investigation, the attackers were determined to be colleagues of Smollett, and Smollett had paid one of them $3,500 for personal training.
And the narrative is
Smollett
fabricated that threat. He fabricated an attack so that his boss would pay more attention to him on the job he already had and was killing every week on Empire. What? That motivation doesn't make any sense at all. This guy is already famous. He's preparing for a music video on that show, and he's too fat, so he needs to work out. He writes a check for $3,500 to someone he already knows. He's paid people $10,000 for similar work in the past. And you're telling me that that doesn't make sense to you? That it makes more sense that this guy on Empire, who's already famous, already got money, and if he wants to do PR, has access to TikTok, it could get much more positive PR. He wants to be a superhero. How you gonna be a superhero, but now you're that guy that got beat up by some MAGA hats? And by the way, there wasn't anyone wearing MAGA hats. That's what Dave Chappelle said. They said this is MAGA country. They weren't wearing MAGA hats. Also, where's the white guy? There was a white guy that attacked, but no one's brought this white guy to task. How do we know there's a white guy? Jussie Smollett said he saw someone with light skin, and there's a security guard that saw one of these people as well. And he said, which brings up another point. Did you know these guys were wearing masks? Whoever attacked them, they were wearing masks. It's not like Jussie saw their faces. No one saw their faces. They were covered in masks. We saw on camera these 2 brothers buying supplies, but we didn't see on camera these brothers beating Jussie Smollett up. What we know is that these brothers were apprehended on their way back from Nigeria. And the cops told them, hey, this guy is telling us that there was a hate crime, but we don't think there was a hate crime in Chicago. Not at that time of night, not at that temperature, not with someone who would remember to pick up a sandwich after getting beaten up, because that's impossible.
This guy had the sandwich in his hand, never been touched. So that was a real tip and a clue to us that something was amiss. Eddie Johnson, former Chicago police superintendent. Johnson added, "Want me to solve your crime? Leave a sandwich behind. I'm hungry."
Really hungry.
For someone to still be hungry after
Being beat up,
that's not possible at all.
according to Chicago police.
So we know that
Smollett
conspired with you to make this up as a hoax. Is that right? If you tell us, we'll give you immunity. Let us solve this case really quickly. Just tell us exactly what happened, how it happened. What do you think those brothers said? You're gonna give me immunity to make up a story? Sure. Because this is a real story. If Jussie Smollett isn't trustworthy, why are these brothers trustworthy? They're the ones who don't have any money, that are selling drugs, that have nothing to lose by making up a, oh, and there's the motivation. It's not Jussie that's making something up, it's these brothers. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. What is the hoax for them? This is a hoax. Jussie Smollett has told us already. These guys have been, well, Bola in particular has been telling him, hey, I can be your bodyguard. Jussie says, I don't want no bodyguard. Bola's like, come on, man, do me a solid. I've been an extra on the show with you. We talk at the gym. We've gone out to some back clubs. Just hire me to be a bodyguard. Bola sees Jussie Smollett as a big paycheck waiting to happen. Oh, but that paycheck never came. Abi and Ola planned this alone. They have a successful bodybuilding career. They do personal training. They do some security work with clubs. But they don't have a clientele of Hollywood elites. That would be an entirely new business client for this duo. And that would be worth significant amounts of income. Income that's worth a small risk. These brothers are like, I'm just gonna scare you until you buy my services. You don't wanna buy them now? Oh snap. I'm gonna put on my mask. I'm gonna call you a nigga. I'm gonna call you some other terms. And I'm gonna knock your lights out. Boy, you gonna be signed up for a bodyguard quick after that. You're gonna be tired of walking around these cold streets. You shouldn't have told me what your flight plans were. You didn't know I was about to knock your lights out. Woo-wee. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But boy, does that narrative make a lot more sense to me. There's no information to say that that's not true. There's no information to say the other narrative's not true. There's no information to say that either one is true. It's not enough. There's not enough evidence.
Jussie Smollett
Is legally not guilty in my eyes. I don't care if you did it or not. Ain't no evidence. Ain't no good evidence. Ain't no good evidence. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no city cold enough to keep me from getting to Subway. This video was not brought to you by sandwiches. Sandwiches, something that you could walk outside in the cold for, or you could wait until later. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat a sandwich. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think Jussie Smollett is guilty? Do you think he needed more attention on Empire? How do you think he's feeling now that he lost a job? Tell me in the comments.
Thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.